Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Spiritual Sundays, the series where I'm talking about all the deeper issues in life, from subjects related to mental health, self-care, human psychology, spirituality and everything else in between. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have you ever been given a label, a name, an assumption about yourself from somebody else without your permission? Most likely you have, and let's face it, we all do it. We judge others based on their appearance, their actions, the way they speak, how they live their life, etc., etc., without really knowing what's going on, what it's actually like to be them. Most of the time these labels can be pretty harmless. In some cases they might actually be kind of helpful. However, there are instances where having a label put on ourselves can actually act as a barrier to our own happiness, success, health, or whatever else it might be that we're striving for. I know that in my case, the label I was given held me back from recovery, and it was only when I became aware of this that I started to move forward. 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder, something that I've opened up about online in a previous video if you wanted to go and watch it. At the time, I didn't really know what to think. I knew that I had a problem and that I wasn't quite well. However, I didn't see myself as being really ill or as somebody who was suffering from a mental illness. However, I accepted that label, and over time I found that it kind of made things easier. It gave me some kind of comfort, a relief, and knowing that what I was doing to myself wasn't really me. It was my illness, my eating disorder. I guess it took away the responsibility. I would say to myself, it's not my fault. I can't help the way I am. I imagine many others fall into this trap upon diagnosis, particularly with mental disorders, but also with physical conditions too. And yes, it can be a help. It can take a lot of pressure off the mind, and it means we can then look into various treatments and methods in which we can help ourselves recover, rather than just running around in circles and constantly worrying about what it is that might actually be wrong. However, the risk is that the label we've been given becomes our identity, and rather than using it as a reason to get better, we can sometimes use it as an excuse to stay where we are. Over time, I noticed that I stepped into the role of the girl with the eating disorder. It was almost normal for me. I became known for it. My old identity, whatever that was, had become lost and forgotten. People started to see me as the ill person. It was a miserable life, but it made things easier. People are used to me now. I thought, I can just stay as this ill person and everything will be fine. But deep down, I knew that it wasn't fine. I was totally lost and trapped in this dark pit of desperation. I knew that something had to change. So one day I woke up and I made a decision. I said to myself, I am no longer the girl with the eating disorder. I do not have to do this, be this person anymore. Instead of seeing myself as being ill, I saw myself as being happy, healthy and strong. Now this isn't about being in denial. I knew that I had a lot to overcome and it wasn't going to be an easy journey. However, my mental illness no longer had to define me. It wasn't who I am. No matter what I look like on the outside or what thoughts are running through my head, my true self has and always will remain. It is ever present. So I started to act as if I was well. I stopped playing the victim. I carried on with my life as any other regular person would do. This went on for many years and I didn't really see a huge amount of progress in my weight gain. However, a huge shift had occurred in my mind. I started to feel differently and in turn others started to treat me differently. I was just Claire, the girl I'd always been. And eventually it started to click. I began to recover. Magical things were happening in my body and mind. It felt like a breakthrough. I no longer needed the label, and once it was gone, my true essence was able to shine through once again. And the weight gain soon followed, almost effortlessly. I was the same person I'd always been, but at the same time, a new person. I felt like I was finally back. I wanted to tell you this story because it's important to know that the labels we've been given in our life do not have to define us. They don't have to make us who we are, only unless we let them. We hold the power to choose what we want to let in, to be whoever we want to be, and to live our lives in whatever way that feels good to us, regardless of what others might say. This power is something that can never be taken away from us. So choose health and happiness, and remind yourself that whatever it is you might be going through right now, it's only temporary, and you don't have to let the label become who you are. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and to listen to my words. If you have any questions or thoughts of your own, please do pop them in the comments below or drop me a message over on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Bye.